Welcome back to TechPrint YouTube channel. I am Folashayo Samuel. In today's video, we are going to dive into something really exciting, optimizing our MongoDB queries using MongoDB Atlas Search. Especially, we will be refactoring a Python method that uses regex for search queries. Regex is powerful, but it's not always the best option for full text search, especially when your data set grows. So let's jump in and see how Atlas Search can improve your MongoDB query performance. We are currently working on a simple Python script that connects to a MongoDB collection with African country data. The method we are looking to refactor is getCountryByName method, which uses a regex query to fetch country names. While regex works, it is not the most efficient when you are dealing with larger data sets or need more flexible search. But first, let us talk about MongoDB Atlas Search. Atlas Search is a full-text search engine built into MongoDB, which makes it super efficient for searching large data sets. It also comes with features like tokenization, relevance-based ranking, and even fuzzy search, which regex doesn't offer. This is great for improving search performance and accuracy. With Atlas Search, we can do things like match similar terms, handle typos, and rank search results by relevance. So let's get into it and refactor the get countries by name methods. To get started, we need to create a search index in MongoDB Atlas. After logging into your MongoDB Atlas, you head over to the cluster and click on search, and you select your data source. I've already created a search index for a country. You can see it here under the Atlas Search tab. You can see we've already created a default search index for our countries. So now let's explain how to create this. So you click on create, which you'll be redirected to this configuration method. So you select how you would like to build and customize your search index. You can also create, edit, and manage search index by using the Atlas API here. So here we are going to select this option. We are going to leave our index name to default. So Atlas Search Index are specific to a database collection. So you can give your index a name for easy reference and select database collection you want to draw data from. So right now we've already created, you can see it said duplicate index name, right? Because we've already created a search index for the African DB country collection. So now we are going to create for the state. Just for example, in this tutorial, so our aim is to make use of the country which I've already created, but just for you to know how to get this done, then I'm going to use this state as example. We're going to create this together. You click on next, you leave it at default. So you review your search index default for Africa state. Look at it. It said by default, when you selected default, your Atlas search index will have the following configurations. It was recommended starting with this and refining it later if you need to. You can see all the index configurations here. Index analyzer, which creates searchable terms for data to be indexed. Then we have the search analyzer, which pass the search operator queries into searchable terms. Also, we have the dynamic mapping, which automatically index common data types in a collection. And we have the field mappings, which define data types and input parameters for specific fields. And we have stored source fields, which make all data available for lookup on Atlas Search site. You can see the Lucene standard. The standard analyzer is the default for Atlas Search indexes and queries. It divides text into terms based on word boundaries. You can edit these defaults at any time to fine-tune relevance and improve search performance. So let's create our search index now. You can see it said your search index build is now in progress. You will receive an alert once it is completed. Indexes may take a few minutes longer like that. Then let's close this. Then let's head up to this. You can see our African DB and the state collection. Then you can see with the one I created earlier before now here, the African DB and the countries collection. So you can also see for the state which you are going to use in this sample, but in the code I'm going to use the country collection. This African state is just to walk you through how this was done. So look at the African DB and the state collection right now. So now let's click on those three dots, edit with visual editor, then let's search our tester. Let's search for a state in Nigeria. Let's say Lagos. Then you search, you can see it's returned us the capital, which is Ikeja, and the population and the state itself. Awesome. Once your index is created, we are ready to modify our code. Note, we use dynamic mapping to index all fields or create a specific index for the name field. So you can see it's working right now. Let's test another state. Let's say Ibadan. Okay, we have it here. The capital is Ibadan, then the state is Oyo. Yes, with the population. So we are done. Get countries by name. Right now it uses a regex query to search for country names. The problem with this approach is that it doesn't scale well, and regex isn't always the best tool for text search. If your data grows, it could take a lot longer to process this query. So let's see how we can refactor this to use MongoDB Atlas search. Now let's refactor the get countries by name method to use the Atlas search feature instead of regex. Going to set limits to in the project stage. Now let's run our code. First thing here is for us to create a virtual environment to run our code. Okay, now let's activate that using the VMV pin, then activate. You can see it here. So now activate this. Then now let's run our code using the fast API dev main.py helps py. Okay, Right, our code is running successfully. In this code, we're going to search for countries by name. So now let's head over to our Swagger doc here, then pasting the URL on your browser, paste it in your browser, then try to search for countries first, which should return, okay, awesome, which will return 10 random countries. Okay, now let's try to get a country by name, which will make use of our Atlas search. Let's search for Nigeria. Beautiful. You can see our code is working fine as expected. To wrap things up, let us quickly recap why MongoDB Atlas Search is better for this use case. Number 1 point here is performance. Atlas Search is optimized for full text search and handles large datasets efficiently. The second point here is fuzzy search. With fuzzy search, we can account for typos and get more accurate results. The third point here is relevance ranking. Atlas Search ranks results based on relevance, so user gets the most useful data. Last point to discuss is scalability. As your data grows, Atlas Search continues to perform well, unlike regex, which can slow down. If you are still using regex for full text search, I highly recommend switching to Atlas Search, especially if you're working with large collections or need better search accuracy. That is it for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful.